What's happening, YouTube? It's Simon 466 Cards, and today we're going to talk about speculation and rumor mongering in the hobby and how one can lead to the other real quick when a social media personality takes an idea, twists it, and then pumps out a bunch of content around it, and then all of a sudden it is the biggest rumor in the hobby. The example I'm going to use is from about a month ago, and you can see it on your screen. It is the idea that PSA and collectors was going to be bought out by GameStop. From what I can tell, this idea began from the Spinatron post where he put out, you can see here, speculation time. What do you think? And then it goes through his analysis and his thoughts and why he thinks that maybe, just maybe, GameStop might want to buy PSA and collectors. I actually have no problem with this post, because he specifically says, speculation time, what do you guys think? And then at the bottom, will this play out? Only time will tell. So he is fully saying, I don't know. I'm just seeing some things that might align between these two companies. And you know, no certainties in this post. And again, I have no problem with this. We as a human species love to speculate and put on our tinfoil hats to see if we can and predict the future, right? He has fully caveated this post by saying it is speculation. But some hobby personalities heard of this idea and then twisted it, and all of a sudden we're all hearing, oh, now this might be imminent. Oh, my spotty senses are tingling. Something's happening here. Like all this kind of stuff where instead of just like, oh, does this make sense? What do you think? Oh, this kind of, there's something here maybe. What do you think? To now it's imminent. It's going to happen. And this spiraled so quickly. You could see Spinatron's post at the bottom here was from June the 12th. On June the 13th, there was a full-blown article in Collect about it. You can see here by the great Ben Burrows, June 13th. And it says right here, speculation among hobbyists of a potential acquisition began to spread Wednesday when GameStop announced plans to raise debt through a private offering of $1.75 billion in convertible senior notes, and then some other stuff about the finances there. And so within a day, just a speculation post by Spinatron turned into a full-blown rumor that PSA had to come out and say that there was no plans for an acquisition by GameStop. Whether or not that's true is not the point. It's the fact that it got this far so quick, all initiated by a post that was just like, hey, here's some speculation. What do you guys think? To post saying, oh, it's going to happen. It's imminent. And there was no real substance behind this. Again, that's not knocking Spinatron because he's fully saying this is speculation, but there weren't questions answered like the video that I made, which I will link to in the description below, is why would Nat Turner sell PSA? Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So that's where we were. We went to, PSA had to come out and make a statement. There was a full article in Collect about this within a day of a speculation post on Instagram. And so this was June 12th, June 13th. I'm recording this video on the early hours of June 15th. So it's been about a month. And obviously there has not been a deal between GameStop and PSA or collectors. Nothing has happened. There's been no further rumors, but people pumping out content got their hooks into you, got their views and their likes, and made them out to be some kind of special insider. And then we've all moved on and forgotten about this idea. Well, now something else has come out from, again, the great Ben Burrows on Twitter. He has noticed, or he reported, that Best Buy is currently selling Ultra Pro official PSA grading submission kits. And so I won't get into the details, but you basically get a bunch of stuff and some credits with PSA when you go to Best Buy and buy this kit. And if you're wondering, yes, it actually is on the Best Buy website. Here's this official grading kit. You get some penny sleevers and some other stuff in there. That is not the point. You just will also get 4 different credits with PSA. And so this is only a month later from the PSA GameStop rumor. And my question is this. If GameStop was about to acquire PSA, Do you think PSA would be partnering with Best Buy instead of GameStop? Because that sure wouldn't make a lot of sense. And if you're wondering about the footprints of the two stores, GameStop, according to Google and AI, has about 2,300 stores in the US, and Best Buy has about half that, just a little over 1,000. And so you can't even say, well, Best Buy has a bigger reach, because nope, that's not true. There's more GameStops than there are Best Buys. And so in terms of footprint across the country, GameStop is the bigger play. So this leads me to, like, there's no other takeaway you can have from this other than GameStop is not buying PSA and collectors. Otherwise, this deal would have been put on hold and would have been marketed for GameStop and put in GameStop stores, because they're already doing the PSA submissions through GameStop. Why wouldn't they also have the submission kit, right? But I think this is PSA and collectors just trying to get their name and their products out in as many different places as possible. It's like GameStop, you get this piece where we walk into the store and submit to you. Best Buy, you get the official kit with some penny sleevers or whatever it is that's in here. That is the PSA and collector strategy, and it makes all the sense in the world. But it also proves, as far as I'm concerned, that a GameStop deal isn't happening anytime soon, because if it's gonna happen, then this would not have been sold on Best Buy. And so what's interesting, going back to the whole rumor mongering thing, is the same account, that was blowing up this rumor also made posts about this Best Buy PSA submission kit, but never acknowledged the fact that this is being sold at Best Buy completely contradicts the idea of a GameStop PSA merger, because they have now moved on to their next piece of content to get you hooked into them, to get your likes, get your views, get your engagement. And so this is all a very, very long-winded way of saying, be careful of who you follow and what you listen to on the internet. And I know that is obviously very basic advice, but the fact that content was made by people who said this thing was imminent, and now they're saying like, oh my god, this thing about Best Buy PSA, and doesn't even mention the fact that this would then suggest that the GameStop merger isn't happening, really says a lot, right? Because it's not that hard to add that in at the very end of your content, being like, oh hey, I guess this might suggest that it's not going to happen, and say that maybe you were wrong. Maybe you were wrong. Like, what is it so hard to say that? For example, in my previous video, I talked about Panini rookie royalty, or WNBA rookie royalty, and how their kabooms are AI generated images. Well, it turns out that's not true. Turns out this image is from an actual game. It is a photo, but they did some sort of weird photo editing that really messed up this hand. But this is a photo, not an AI generated image. And so I was wrong on that. The whole other point of the video, or the larger point of the video, that rookie royalty sucks as a product and is the worst one that Panini has ever made. I stand by that. But you know what? I should not have said this is an AI generated image. It is just a extremely, extremely poor Photoshop job done by someone with the qualifications of a high school graphics student or something, like taking a graphics course for the first time. This is awful. And so that also begs the question as to whether or not this image, where a player from the WNBA has literally 4 fingers on her hands here and here, maybe this is also not an AI generated image and is a actual photo taken where someone took a lot of liberties for a reason that I don't understand to remove JC Sheldon's ring finger. And so again, I said both of these were AI generated images, and at least one of them is not. And so I was wrong about that. The larger point holds that this product sucks hard, but was on an AI generated image. And so Is it that hard to just say in the hobby, hey, I was wrong about something? It's not that hard. And yet, you will see very few people in the hobby admit that they're wrong because they're just focused on establishing their credibility and getting as much attention, views, and likes and subscriptions and followers as they can. They don't care about actually being truthful and giving honest and good faith content. And so that's what you really need to be on the lookout for when you're watching content in the hobby. There are some that are good and there are some that are not. I'm just going to leave it at that. And that is my rant for this video. Let me know what you think about this in the content or in the comment section down below. Thank you as always for listening and watching. I'll talk to you all soon. Cheers.